Peace to the world. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. It's the 7th of March, 8 a.m. Let's talk about what's happening in the world today. Opinions. So I think we need to get to a place where we acknowledge, we become real. Let's be realistic with ourselves, with what's happening. So, in my opinion, what's happening is what I call Otto von Bismarck season 2. Beat it. So the world is being repositioned, and so there's a lot of grabbing and looting that's going on. But you see, it cannot happen how it happened back when Bismarck called for the Berlin Conference. Right now, what we are seeing, classic example, is with Venezuela. So we all saw Maduro get grabbed, right? A head of state got abducted right from his own country. He's now in some, sham kangaroo court in New York. And here's the kicker. There's nothing you can do to help the guy. What are you gonna do? There's nothing that the UK, there's nothing that France, Australia, China, Russia could do to help out the chap. What would you do? Send out a team to New York? Realistically. So, goes back to something that my favorite hero, one of my favorite heroes, Dr. Gregory House, said. The bigger they are, the harder they kick your ass. And sometimes that's actually the case, and that's what's going on. So the actual reality is the United States is out to survive. Okay, so there's this rhetoric that's going around that the empire is falling. Unbeknownst unto you, well, that's what you might be analyzing with your eyes. Do you think they will let that happen? Not quite, right? And so, to save the dollar, which is what this, chicanery and madness really is all about, it's drama galore. Okay. And here's the kicker, the number 2 kicker. There's nothing you can do about it. When you really ponder, China, other than the manufacturing leverage it has, the game comes down to currency, denomination, because the hegemony survives because everyone in the world is using the dollar. And here's the thing with the dollar. It's a store of wealth. And when you're dealing with wealth, fuck wokeness. So it is highly unlikely people will wake up and start dumping dollars as we think is going on because they want to move to what? What's the next alternative? The yuan. Not at the moment. And never forget that part of what makes a currency valuable is the perception in people's minds. And so if you come to Ethiopia, IA, Africa, and you give someone an option right now, it doesn't matter. They will choose the dollar anytime over the Chinese money. It's just how it is. The dollar is so heavily embedded, not just in the economy, but in people's minds. And so reversing that is going to be a bit tricky. And so what the empire, which I don't think is the empire, it's now, we could call it the empire, but America really is a monarchy now. And this is the third takeaway, get shocked from this video, is the empire is not gonna let that happen. Not gonna happen, Donald Trump's voice. That's what is all this drama. If they want the oil, they go get the oil. I got to see the president of Venezuela, lovely lady, quaking in her boots. You know, they even took away her Nobel because they're not playing around. That's the situation. So there's nothing you can do about it from a military point of view. They really do have the upper hand. Iran, drama. Okay, it's madness, unfortunately. Okay, and now the third, shall I say, heartbreaking, brutal truth for the Americans, in my opinion. When I started this video, I said that we have to move away from delusional thinking, from naive thinking, you know, what I call Sunday school software thinking, where we are trying to, oh, nice people. That's not the case any longer. So Americans need to wake up and realize that you're in hot soup. Okay? And unfortunately, or fortunately for you, the odds are heavily leaning towards the side of Donald J. Trump not leaving office in 2028. See the Donald 2028 joke? It's not a joke. And here's the kicker. Unfortunately for you, it's necessary. For you to survive, the 4-year cycles can't work any longer. They know it. So now you're gonna have a monarch, His Highness Donald Trump. And don't worry, you know why? The sun will still shine tomorrow. It's not like, you know, Trump 2028 till indefinite. Go check out Substack. Yeah, it's Trump 2028 till indefinite. Why? Because should Trump leave, whomever comes next, nobody in the world will listen to them. Nobody. It's highly unlikely. What's likely to happen is other world leaders are likely to gang up against them. And the next year, 4-year cycle, they wait for another one and another one. And the empire, the system knows that. So they have someone in place who, while we might want to think it's a joke, truly fuck around and find out. Okay? So if these chaps come to you, sometimes this is going to be this is a bit slothful for me to say, but I'll pull a Bishop Barron on you guys. Sometimes the only way to win the game is to not play the game. Do the math and ask yourself, will you sacrifice the lives of your people at the expense of the resources that you have? Risasi haisimamishangu na kifua, na strategy ndio game ya hii mchezo. Nyashinsky no nini, respectively. It gets to a point sometimes you have to think stuff through, okay? And in my opinion, as slothful as this may sound, I will play the Bishop Barron card and say that the only way to win the game is to not play the game. And this is particularly important for what I call the economy of salvation, for those who are founded and rooted in the spirituality of Christ Jesus. For you to save your soul, you cannot play the games of this world. So, interesting times we are living in. It's very confusing, I'd imagine, for the Americans, because what they had perceived in their minds is completely changing. But the times we are living in, not playing the game might just be the only way you win the game. It's, it's Ethiopia. Yes, opinions though, opinions.